Welcome back to another episode of Luxury Fridays. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. You're in the right spot. If you're an agent, you're a team leader, you're a homeowner, no matter where you're based, we are going to be answering a lot of questions and answers today. For those that are watching live from Instagram, go to luxuryfridays.com to ask any questions. Again, I would love for you to type in the comment section. Let me know where you're listening from. And we would love to answer any questions that you have today. We're going to be covering a lot of topics today. I've typed in the chat feature, and you'll see it right here. If you go to, if you want to click on the link in the chat feature, or go to StreamYard.com and type in that long, goofy URL, you can ask questions live, audio, or I can bring you on camera. And if you want to just type them in the chat feature because you're watching a replay, the best way to do that in a replay would be simply shoot us an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. And if it is on a replay and you're watching this, then we'll have to get back to you, of course. But if you are watching this live, please let us know where you're watching us from. If you're on Instagram, I would recommend you go to luxuryfridays.com and click on the first link, and that will take you over to our YouTube stream, and that's where you can interact more. Again, this Friday, we have a lot to cover, and before we do that, I just want to remind everybody a couple things. In 13 days, we're going to be coming down to Texas. In 13 days. And we're really excited about it. We got a great group of agents that have already signed up. And we already have a few others that have contacted us that they're planning on attending. So we're really excited about that. Again, we might be doing our Luxury Fridays live on the set in just outside of San Antonio. And we look forward to that. Just a reminder, there is no easy button, but we're going to be sharing with you tips and strategies to help you take your business to the next level. On Instagram, Washington State, thank you for joining us. Again, luxurydesignation.com/Texas if you're interested. Again, type in the comments section. Let me know where you're listening from so we can hopefully bring you on, and if you have any questions. So again, all things real estate related, although we're focusing on luxury real estate. If you have questions, if you're working with a buyer as an agent, you're working with a seller, you're a newer agent, you're with a smaller brand, you're with a large franchise, let us know. Again, I am the author of the book, Luxury Listing Specialist, and I'm the founder of the LUXE Designation. My name is Michael LaFido. I'm based in the Chicagoland suburbs. I've been selling real estate since 2000 and focused on luxury really over the last 7.5, 8 years. We launched our designation. We'll be celebrating our 6-year anniversary of that next month. We launched it in March of 2016 in Dallas to a RE/MAX DFW and Associates brokerage. They had 6 offices, 300 agents, and they wanted some additional support and tools that they weren't getting from RE/MAX at the franchise level within their luxury division called Collections. So we launched our course in front of about 80 to 90 agents in a studio movie grill. So that was 6 years ago. And I want to thank Judy Lador. Judy Lador is amazing. And Judy was the person behind that, making that introduction, I would say. So that was terrific. I'm going to do some sharing of screens today. And I want to share with you some things today. So let me try to do that. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to be sharing a screen here. Boom. All right. So the way we're going to do this is, let me see if I can bump that up. So we're here on Luxury Fridays. From time to time, I'm going to do a shared screen, and we're going to have a guided lesson, if you will, curriculum. And today we're going to be talking a lot about multiple listing comments. But on this Luxury Friday, we will be, of course, taking questions about this topic or any topic that you might have. Again, those that are watching live on Instagram, I recommend you go to luxuryfridays.com, Luxury Fridays. I'll type that in the URL right now. If you go to luxuryfridays.com, this is where each week we will update you on the latest and greatest, and most importantly, the updated link for the actual training. So as you see, luxuryfridays.com, that's where you want to go each week, and you'll learn, you'll have the updated link there. So luxuryfridays.com. So welcome. I'd love to hear from where everybody's at. So please, if you're just joining us, type in the comments section so I know you can hear us live. Tell us where you're watching it from. Are you on Instagram? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Facebook? Are you on YouTube? Are you on my Twitter feed? Let us know where you're watching from and on which feed. That would be great. Again, that helps us figure out which platforms we should be doing some more promotion. Right now, everything's organic, just like our designation. We don't take out big ads or anything like this. It's all about word of mouth and organic marketing. So that is helpful if you let me know where you're from, and I actually can see which platform you're typing in from. So Brennan, thank you. Looks like you're watching from our YouTube, which I appreciate it. Luxury Friday. So getting back, I do want to talk about this right here. I'll take this off the screen. Lux Redefined is our actual blog. So we create educational videos, and twice a month we release them. And just this past week, this is an example of what we released. This is an example of the content. How do you as an agent write? What are best practices to write the remark sections in the multiple listing service? Now, we are in a dating app. We're in a dating app. I'll show you my phone, which I'm streaming live here on Instagram, but we are in a dating app. People are swiping left or they're swiping right all the time on properties you represent. And so you want more swipe rights, from what I've been told in the dating app industry, and you want more swipe rights for your properties. So you can have the best description in the world, but if the photos aren't high quality, if you're not showing the unique features of a home, then you're not going to get as much traction from it. So I'm sharing with you not just mine, but other top agents that I've coached, I've worked with, I've mastermind with, from all brands. Again, Luxury Fridays is brand agnostic. It's for all brands, whether you're a newer agent, you're an experienced agent, whether you're with Sotheby's, Christie's, Compass, Remax, EXP, doesn't matter who you're with. I want to raise the bar for the industry, and that's really important to us. And I'm not here to recruit you. However, if you want to hear a little bit about what we're doing and why I left the number one company in the Chicagoland market, hands down, I'd be happy to share that with you. Shoot me a note, shoot me a private note, or you can go to joinluxgroup.com, Join Lux Group. And on Join Lux Group, you'll see a bunch of free resources, but you can also contact me there, where if you're curious to hear a little bit more about what we're building, how we're in 50 states, 22 countries, and we got tons of momentum behind us, then go to joinluxgroup.com. We're also looking for instructors. We have courses approved for continuing education currently in Florida, in Texas, Georgia, and we are pending in Illinois, and we're looking to expand that. So if you think you'd be a great instructor, and you like talking and you like teaching, and maybe you've taught some continuing education courses elsewhere, please let us know. You too can go to joinluxegroup.com and fill out a form, and we look forward to hearing from you there. So that's what we're going to be talking about today: how to write comments, how to create luxury comments or remark sections for your properties. And it doesn't just apply to luxury. So although the name of our Fridays is called Luxury Fridays, it's really could be called Marketing Fridays, best marketing practices for you to attract more opportunities, for you as an agent to position yourself differently. Everybody knows a real estate agent. So if you want to be vanilla, it's going to be hard to stand out, because that's the first rule of thumb of marketing, is to get people's attention. And here in Illinois, I know everybody knows a real estate agent. It's no different in all states. There's NAR said there's over 1.5 million realtors. We have the most realtors ever. So everybody knows a real estate agent. So what are you doing to differentiate, especially in a tight market when there's not a lot of inventory out there? It's really important. Again, if you're just joining in, Michael LaFido, type in where you're listening from, where you're watching from. Let us know if this is your first Luxury Fridays and how you heard about it. If this is not your first Luxury Fridays, let us know that too, and let us know how you heard about it. And we are going to be giving away prizes for those that interact. Okay, I have a copy of my objection handling playing cards right now, my objection handling playing cards. And we sell those at luxuryspecialistgear.com. If you go to luxuryspecialistgear.com, we sell those, but we're going to be giving away some of those free. Okay, we're going to be giving away our objection handling playing cards each week for those that ask questions. We're not going to give them to everybody, but I will pick somebody that I feel like did the most interaction, and we'll be giving those away. We'll be emailing you a PDF version of these. Okay, if you want the physical ones dropped in the mail, go to luxuryspecialistgear.com. We also have some amazing swag there, some amazing t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, etc. at luxuryspecialistgear.com. All right. I had somebody ask us about Texas. Okay, somebody asked us about Texas already. Yes, we are doing our event in Texas. Our event coming up in Texas. That URL is just called luxurydesignation.com, and it is /Texas. I am just typing this in, and it's tough to talk and type at the same time, so I'll put this here, and that is luxurydesignation.com /Texas. Again, I do these trainings all across the country, and we're excited to come down to Texas here in 13 days. Just a couple weeks back, we're in Atlanta for EPM Mortgage's big conference. It was a huge success. And across the screen right now is our mansion tour. We do mansion tours. As part of our trainings, we incorporate a mansion tour. In this case, we toured a $7 million home when we did our training in Denver a few weeks ago. This is not Texas on the screen. They don't have snow. Well, sometimes they do, but they don't have snow in Texas usually. So this is from our Denver event. This was at a $7 million home. This particular agent that listed this home, she was very transparent. This was her first big trophy listing, and Ashley will tell you she was a little bit over her head with stuff. So we helped her out. We gave her tips and suggestions on best marketing practices, and she was very thankful on print collateral, on best marketing practices, on video. For example, as we walked up to the home during this mansion tour, there was a front stoop step that was broken. There was some big flower pots on each side of the beautiful front doors, and they had discoloration on the stonework. So again, if that seller was interviewing me in the fall before we winterized all our outside spigots, I would have had a landscaper power wash and clean those things up and gotten that front stoop repaired. These are just little things, but it only takes first impressions, right? It only takes one buyer, and first impressions are so important. So again, although we're talking all things luxury today, it applies to all price points. But that's our Texas event there. And this was our second property that we toured. This one was on at $4.5 million, and it definitely needed to be staged. It was too personalized to that owner, and it was a difficult sale. It was snowing out that afternoon. It was perfect. It was beautiful. And this was actually from Kim Dean. Kim was an agent who attended our training, And I'll read you what she sent, and she posted and tagged me the other day. She says, "You're not a tree. If you're not growing, you can move." It's a new favorite quote. Okay. Last month, I uprooted and got myself to Denver because she's out of the Dallas market, and had a quick 2-day training for our luxury designation. I was there because our team has a goal to more massively market luxury properties. If I'm honest, the training was better than I expected. So good. I've been to a lot of conferences. Some are fluff, but this was meat. I like to say meat and potatoes. I soaked up so much rich content and etc. So that was from her. She took a picture in the $7 million home. That's the class picture. And this is her with her certificate. So these are the types of things that we do, and we're doing it in less than 2 weeks. Actually, it's under 12 days. 12 days and 21 hours is about when our next training is. And you can go to luxurydesignation.com/Texas. So let's get on with today's topic. But before I do that, just a reminder, this is one of my favorite quotes, and this is how agents can help break out of their comfort zone a little bit if they don't have a track record of selling other luxury properties. But just a reminder, please go to luxuryfridays.com, those that are watching on Instagram, and click on the YouTube live stream link, because you can ask questions there, and I won't be able to interact with you as much on Instagram. So just a reminder, this is one of my favorite quotes from a renowned psychologist and Nobel Peace Prize winner in economics, and he's written a lot of books, Daniel Kahneman. People would rather do business with someone they like and they trust rather than someone they don't, even if this likable person is offering a lower quality product at a higher price. So grow your knowledge, be knowledgeable, be confident, be nice. Don't tell people what they want to hear, but also don't be a jerk, right? That's basically the message there. Okay. That's basically the message. So I just want to remind everybody of that. Okay. Really grow your knowledge and your confidence will grow. And each Friday we're doing these luxury Fridays, and they're only as good as the interaction. I'm going to be providing content, but I want AMA action. AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. Ask me anything. So we would love for there to be some AMAs as well. And if there's any type of fresh eyes analysis, that would be terrific. We would love that. Fresh eyes analysis. And if you recall, here we go. Always be learning. And that's why I'm excited that you are watching this live, or some of you are watching the replay here. ABL, always be learning. You can learn from within your brand. You can learn from outside your brand. Don't think my brand is different. My market is different. That's the worst thing you could ever do. But my market is different. Okay? Please think differently. Don't think like everybody else, because Einstein defines that as insanity, doing the same thing as everybody else and expecting a different result. I believe the fastest way for an agent to gain instant credibility from their database and their sphere and people that know them, like them, and trust them. Matter of fact, people that don't know them that well, maybe don't like them that well, or don't trust them that well, is to get that first high-end or luxury property. Instant credibility. Again, I'd love some interaction here. Tell me when you hear ROI. When you hear ROI, what do you think that means? ROI. Tell me again, what do you think ROI is? And just a reminder, please, if you want to ask a question, if you want me to bring you on camera, okay? If you want me to bring you on camera, I'm typing in again the URL in the comments section. This is where I can bring you on camera and ask you your questions, and I can't do that from my Instagram group. Okay. So Brennan, thank you for interacting. So ROI is what most people think of. Okay. They think of return on investment. Okay. And that is a great answer, and that's not wrong. But the ROI that I'm referring to is a little bit different. The ROI I'm referring to is return on impression. Return on impression. So Brennan, what I mean by that is think about social media. Think about as we're watching this live on many platforms. Okay. If you were to list, like the famous actor on Saturday Night Live used to say, okay, Chris Farley, if you were to list a van down by the river, okay, if you were to list a van down by the river and put it on Instagram, okay, and later that day you put up a high-end and luxury property, which would get more clicks, which would be more comments, okay? So ROI is not just return on investment, but it's also return on impression. Okay, you're leveraging, you'll get more interaction, you'll get more comments, you'll get more credibility with those high-end and luxury properties. So I do believe in a top-down mentality where if you do a nice job and you do a great job and you're creative and you are cutting edge with marketing high-end and luxury properties, it's a trickle-down effect. You'll get more average price properties and entry-level properties. Okay, you have to mix in. You can't just be all luxury. You got to remind people that you help big and small, right? Cute and small, whatever you want to call it. You're not just a one-track specialist. Maybe you are. I don't know. I do believe you should be a luxury specialist, but I do feel like you should help all price points. Again, although our specialty is high-end and luxury, we'll help somebody. Now, it might be a team member that specializes more in rentals or buyers or entry-level buyers or sellers, but we will help people. Okay, that's really why I got in this industry. So let's open it up for any questions thus far. Any questions? Anybody? Any questions? Any questions? All right, type them in if you do, or click on that link that I put in the chat. Again, if you're not sure what link I'm referring to, it's this one right here that's on the screen, StreamYard.com. That's how I can bring you live on here, okay? All right, so today's lesson, we're going to be talking about you as an agent. You have this amazing property. Maybe you have an entry-level property. How do you create the remarks in the multiple listing service, in the MLS, right? So you have great pictures. We'll talk about that in future lessons. How do you have amazing photos and what to show, what not to show? Again, there's no easy button for more right brain agents. Again, using DISC personality, you got right brain and you have left brain, okay? Left brain are more strategic, they're more analytical, they're more linear thinkers, and your right brain are the creative minds, okay? Maybe not as organized, but more talkative, more interactive, more extroverts, okay? And that's why I know the pandemic hurt a lot of students. They hurt a lot of students that weren't able to interact or have play dates, or maybe couldn't read lips because of mask, or didn't see smiles. So that's something that I'm fighting for here locally is choice, but that's a whole nother topic. So how do you write MLS remark section? So I'm going to talk a little bit about this, but as you see on my screen, you could watch my video on luxeredefined.com, Lux Redefine, which is our blog. And every other week, we release fresh new content. Okay, fresh new content. So how to write MLS remarks on your luxury listings. So I'm going to share with you best practices, talking to other agents, what they're doing in their marketplace, what are some best practices that they're doing to market their high-end and luxury properties. So first off, you need to go through room by room, and whether it be, I would recommend you do this with the seller, and you ask the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, of course, we're going to put together some print collateral for your home. And part of that print collateral is something that I call special features. No different if you go into a car dealership and you don't just see the sticker price, but what are the upgrades for that vehicle, okay? Sometimes they put the price next to them as well, so you can appreciate those upgrades, whether it be the larger sunroof, the off-road package, whatever it might be. Same thing for each property that you recommend. You need to be able to have for yourself a special feature sheet that highlights this home and all of its unique features. So if I were to work room by room, like yesterday, I went on an appointment for I'm waiting on the signed listing agreement, but we took photos. I know you can't probably see this real well, but literally it's my chicken scratch handwriting. And I took the room sizes, I took the room dimensions, but we also, room by room, was it carpeted? Was it hardwood floor? What type of hardwood floor? What are the unique features of the room? Have there been any upgrades made? What are the materials in the room, i.e. the crown molding, the baseboard? What type of hardwood floors are they? Light fixtures. If the fixtures are staying, tell me about the light fixtures and the hardware. These are all things that you want to put together in a special feature sheet that is room by room, as well as what are the special features of the home. The roof was replaced in 2018, and it's a Da Vinci roof with a 60-year warranty that's transferable. It's a synthetic roof. The two furnaces were replaced in 18. They're high energy efficient. And so again, the actual mechanicals, any upgrades, any unique things that the home has, the garage floor and the driveway is heated. So when the neighbors are out there shoveling, we don't have to deal with it. Or it's got a whole house generator or a water purifying system, etc. These are all things that you want to do as an agent when you're putting together the special features for your home. Okay. But also you take those special features, and we'll cover more of that in a future training. But you take those special features, and what do? You create the multiple listing service remarks that the consumers read, okay, that the consumers read. That's really important. The consumers read that. And I'm just writing myself a note because I want to cover something with you guys. By the way, the brain is for processing, not for storage, okay? What I mean by that, one of my first real estate coaches out of California, I'd love to bring him on, Joe Stump, by referral only. I'm going to reach out to Joe and try to get him on my show here. But Joe used to talk about that all the time. The brain is for storage, not for processing, or vice versa. But his point being, if you guys are like me and you're always having things going on in your brain, okay, write them down, type them in your phone or write them down, because if you don't, they'll float away, right? So you can focus on being engaged. You can focus on whatever task you're working on, okay? That's really important. All right. So how to write MLS remarks. So I take all those unique features and I describe what I want to highlight in the remarks section. But I also asked the homeowner. If you remember David Letterman, he retired maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. He used to have his top 10, right? Top 10 reasons. It could be top 10 reasons to buy this home in Hinsdale, Illinois, or in Fredericksburg, Texas. And so I would like to ask the homeowner why the top 10 reasons he bought this home and why he thinks a buyer today would buy the home. And so now he's going to label something that's really important to him or her. And so you want to make sure you highlight some of those features when you're creating the description that the homeowner really finds valuable, because maybe he's had guests over, maybe he's had a bunch of feedback from people that this is cool, this is unique, etc. So that's how you create a return on impression from your remarks section, because you might have that analytical buyer. Yeah, the pictures are great, but they want the content. They want the meat and potatoes. They want details. So that's going to be really, really important. All right, I'm going to pause for a second, get some water here, and I'm going to see if anybody has questions. Anybody? So Brennan, you've been very interactive today. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Anybody else? Comments? Please ask them. This would be a great time to do that. Anybody else have a comment? feel like one of the things I should put on here is the Jeopardy music. Do 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 do. I'm not even gonna sing because I got the worst. But you know what I mean. Anybody, questions, questions. If you're watching, if you're just joining us, again, my name is Michael LaFido. For the most part, same time, same place, every Friday, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, and 9 a.m. Pacific. We are coming to you live, sometimes from the field, from a conference, in this case, from my office just outside of Chicago. Again, if you're an agent, you're a team leader, you're a broker owner, you're in the right place. We're helping agents break down barriers mentally, okay, limiting beliefs. We're helping them think differently. We're helping agents increase their average sale price. What's in it for us? Well, that's a great question. What's in it for us is hopefully you guys get some value. Okay. If you're getting value from this, Brennan and others, please leave us a like, leave us a review on Facebook and maybe somewhere else. If you've gotten our book, Luxury Listing Specials, please leave us a like or review on Amazon. That's how you can thank me. That's what's in it for me. I'm training any agent, any brokerage. Luxury Fridays is brand agnostic. I'm not here to recruit you, but if you are interested in maybe joining our team, joining our organization, no matter where you are, pretty much in the world, go to the following link that's on the screen right now. You could literally go to joinluxgroup.com, join Lux Group, and that's the best way to get in touch with me. And I got somebody that's got a question. I'm going to bring them on because I'm excited to bring on different guests. So it's not just me talking. So Brennan, I'm going to change this up a little bit. How you doing, buddy?
I am good, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. So you were on last week. You're becoming a regular, which I love it. And last week you're preparing to go on a open house to a price point I believe was over $2 million. And as of last week, you had never sold anything above something in the upper 700s, but you were leveraging other people's properties, in this case, other people's listings, to do an open house. Fill me in on that before we go into any question that you have, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So super excited. It was a great event. Saturday was pretty slow. Sunday was cracking off. There was a bunch of people. I got my full sheet here. I'm trying to figure out how I could show it to you without giving away all the information.
Yeah. Just go quick there. So, oh my goodness.
I stacked
There's
it up,
15,
dude.
20 names there.
Yeah. So it was super cool. I got a few people. This is crazy. Right now, literally got a text message from one of the people that I just met there.
Read it to us.
It says, "Hi, Brennan. Quick question. The home I saw with you was sold for 1.17 in June. That seems a bit low. No? Question mark. So I'll hit him back up in a minute. But
so they came through at 2 million, and this current owner paid 1.1 just in June.
Yeah, so they bought this property. It was run down. They bought it for 1.1 in June, and then they just flipped it. And so they listed it for like 1.8 a couple weeks ago, got a bunch of offers on like the first day. So then they decided to list it for over 2, which is whatever crazy marketing strategy. Basically, every buyer that came into the open house asked me about what happened to the price. Why did it go up 200K? So I don't know if that was necessarily the best marketing strategy for them, but this guy I met there, and he was like, okay, I really like it. I'm trying to move my mother into the neighborhood and move her closer to me, but it's like kind of high price. Like it was a total premium property. Like they took this rundown home in the neighborhood from the 70s and like put a couple $100,000 into it, and now it's worth like 2 million. Like you can't really do it up any nicer than it currently is. So I think like an equity play, you'd have to wait a little bit to get some equity on it.
Okay, good. Again, those of you who are watching on Instagram, the best way to interact and bring on the camera, I know you probably can't hear Brennan right now, is go to luxuryfridays.com, click on the first link, and that's our YouTube live stream. So Brennan, he's got a long list of people that came through his $2 million open house. It's not his listing. So there's a lot of good questions. We can just interact on that. So number one, how are you following up with these list of people? And out of curiosity, did you ask them if they're working with an agent? So you probably know how many people are on your sign up sheet. How many people are on that sheet?
I don't know the exact number. I didn't count. I got like one or two fake names in the beginning to get people going and writing
Yeah.
their names on there and
Yeah.
following the program like everyone else. But yeah, probably at least 15 on here.
All right. So 15 names. Out of those 15, do you know how many of them are working with an agent? Did you ask that out of curiosity?
I definitely asked that. I'm a huge Ricky Carruth fan, so he's has a line something like, "Is there an agent in the area that you're currently working with?" And so I asked mostly everyone that, and definitely a few people that were nice and that I vibed with, and we had good rapport. A few of them did have agents already, so I had to like let them go and just not bother them or anything. But
Right.
um, there's probably 3 or 4 people on here that want to do something in the next 3 to 6 months, and there's one lady on here that I already showed property to. I met her on Sunday and I showed her like 3 properties on Tuesday, and they were all like 1.1 to
Oh,
1.6 million.
man, that's beautiful. That could be a $20,000 week for you.
That would be lovely. So we were supposed to meet again this weekend to look at another property, and she said she's feeling under the weather. So hopefully that's true, and hopefully she just doesn't not like me or nothing.
Sure.
But yeah, it seemed to go well. I just was a servant, just be a servant, showed her the properties, asked her what she thought,
Yep.
what are you trying to do?
Yep.
And yeah, it was super, super great. It was a super productive week. Other people's property, OPP, transformed it to showing some other property. This guy's texting me right now while I'm talking to you. So there's a few things in the works, definitely from that 2 days
All
of
right.
work from the weekend.
So two things I want to talk about: the increase in price, some ways that you can overcome that objection. While I'm doing that, feel free to type the guy back and tell him you'll get back to him, within the hour. Just say you're in a meeting. If you feel that urgency, I get it. I do. So Brennan brings up a couple good things here. So he went to an open house. He hosted an open house at somebody else's listing last week. It was over $2 million. Brennan has never sold anything above 700 and what?
Under 7, yeah.
Under nothing ever above 700. And I appreciate your transparency, by the way. And
Yeah.
Brennan, have we sent you out the digital version of our objection handling playing cards?
No, but that would be amazing.
Yeah. So do me a favor. Make sure you private message me
You're
your
awesome.
information. I love the interaction, and Brett, who's on here. Brett, we're going to send you those as well, Brett, because we promised those to you. So you guys are doing a great job, and I appreciate that. So um, thank you for your questions, and so please keep doing that, guys. That's helpful. This is how we get interaction, and that is simply if somebody asks, you can go to luxuryspecialsgear.com if you want to buy those, but I'll send you the PDF of those. Okay.
You're the
So
man. Thank you.
you're welcome. So they paid 1-1, but it needed a lot of work. So the first question that I would do if I was the marketing agent for that home, again, marketing agent, not a listing agent. Anybody can throw it on the computers. Marketing agent. So if I was the marketing agent for this property, naturally I call it Captain Obvious, like hotels.com, the Captain Obvious guy. The elephant in the room. You want to address the elephant in the room. And in this case, the elephant in the room is they paid 1-1 just, you know, 8 months ago. 8 months ago, they paid 1-1. Now they're wanting over 2 or 2 million. And just a month ago or a couple weeks ago, they're at 1.8. So what did they do? Right.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would like to address with the owner and be proactive versus reactive. So I would go to the owner or the investor and say, give me a list of everything you've done and what the cost was and what the cost for a general contractor was. And I'm making up the number. But let's say that number was, they sent 400,000 into it, you might have to tell people that, like, yeah, they spent 1-1, they got 400 into it. Now, some people might think, well, for negotiating purposes, a buyer would say, wow, you're trying to make a $500,000 profit. So you got to really focus on comps. If there are comparables, price per square foot, if it's favorable, maybe getting an independent appraisal that's stamped and dated February of 2022. So, of course, you, the agent that's at the open house, is going to try to say it's worth 2 million. But if there's a third party license appraisal that has got a 2022 date on it and it says it's worth 2 million, that carries a lot more credibility. So these are all things that you might go back to the listing agent and ask for, because it doesn't sound like she probably provided that to you.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a list of repairs provided. I mean, everything in there was done up. Everything was like shiny, brand new. So it felt like a completely new house. But yeah, that was everybody that saw it online, saw the price increase. And so they all wanted to know what's going on. And I couldn't really answer that for them at the time.
So here's how you answer it without knowing the real story. My default answer, based on what you've told me, would be, that's a great question. The seller all along wanted to go on a little bit higher, somewhere in the 2.1. The agent thought that this price, 1.85 or whatever, that would be the suggested price. So they rolled with it. But man, they got tons of activity and tons of offers that were, above asking price. So they hit the pause button, they hit the reset button, and they went on to where the seller felt like, based on what they have into it, based on what he thought the after repair value was, that's where it should be. And so that, does he have some wiggle room? I can't speak for them, but that's the backstory.
Gotcha. Love that answer. Yeah.
So, okay. So that's probably not why you came on today. So let's talk about what question you have for today, but that's valuable, because I think each week, even though that's not why you came on, I hope you're getting some clarity and I'm giving you some free nuggets.
Dude, yes, amazing nuggets. You've given me so much value. You're pouring your heart out over here. I want to jump on with you. You asked me it originally when I first jumped on, but this was my question for you as well, which was, what would be your follow-up strategy for these people that I met at the open house? So far, I've texted them all. I said, thank you so much for coming to the open house. If there's anything that you need, if you want to go look at some properties, let me know. Feel free to reach out. And that's where I'm at. I put them all in KV Core in my database. And one or two of them want to see more properties in that specific neighborhood. So obviously I put them up on like a search that it'll email them when those properties pop up. And that's kind of all I got for a follow-up strategy. I would take like my top 3, top 5 people and just call them every week or two. Basically, that's what I would do. But what would you do?
I'm typing it in right now. So let's see how big this is. It might be too big. Okay. So I write Zenlist. There's probably other companies out there, but I belong to Zenlist in my market, and Zenlist will allow, coming soon, again, our multiple listing service is owned by us as agents, called MRED. We're, I think, the 5th largest multiple listing service in the United States. Okay. And so if you were a buyer of mine and I was to interact with you, I'd say, hey, Brennan, I'm not sure if you're on a bunch of real estate agent searches, but as you know, there's so much limited inventory right now. I'd love to set you up on an app where you'd be notified, I'd be notified in real time if something comes on the market, if there's a price adjustment, or I'm going to add this part, which I usually lead with, but maybe in California, you don't have this private network. You could call it something else. But in Illinois, we have access to these off-market properties. So you can search like you're a real estate agent and see these off-market properties that aren't on the third-party websites. They're not on Realtor.com. They're not on whatever, Zillow, Redfin, name local sites. And so, if you are interested in finding out about properties that aren't recycled, that not the same stuff that everybody else is sending you, I'd be happy to set you up on the app. All I need is your cell phone, because we'll text you a link to jump in and an email address. And so that you make sure you get their cell number, because you're going to tell them, they text you how they log in. So this way you got their cell phone and you don't have Daffy Duck at 123.com or some weird phone number on there, right? So that's number 2. Then the other thing is, remember, all they care about is WIIFM. What are you going to do, Brennan, to get me in that property that some other agent can't? So if that means door knocking, if that means canvassing the neighborhood with some type of letters, we have access to off-market properties. We also have a system to identify through artificial intelligence, okay, sellers that are thinking about selling before they even contact an agent. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I just need, I have several questions I would need, including your criteria, your price point, your wants, your needs. What's the difference between a need and a want? What do you really need? What would you like to have that's a want? And that sort of thing. So again, it's the old giving them something on a silver platter, making their life easier. It's all about them and their situation. AAT. Is that helpful?
Yeah, no, it's great. I wrote a few of these things down. I'm definitely going to try to implement some of these things.
Yeah, so that's what I would be doing. And so I would be always looking when I return back to somebody, I'm always looking for a hook, something of value, not just, hey, are you still looking? Hey, have you found anything? How about, hey, have you saw this property? It just came on the market. Not, and I do a screenshot of it. And if it's in that private network, chances are they haven't seen it. And so I'm able to bring value to it. And that could be my reminder. If you'd like to see these new ones coming on in the spring market, where we might be able to get an offer in beforehand, I'll set you up on our private app. All I need is your cell and your email.
Okay, cool.
Is that good?
Yeah, no, what's this private network that you're talking about? This is like you're talking about these sites like that are off market properties,
So
websites with off market.
ZenList is something that I think you can invest in. I don't think it's unique to Illinois, but our private network is in our multiple listing service here in Illinois. We need signed listing agreements and signed disclosures, and we have to disclose what the commission payout would be to a buyer's agent. But we have some sellers that don't want it out on the open market, so to speak, or maybe because they're painting or doing some updates, but they don't want to miss out. Others people use it as a strategy, right? The old takeaway close. You always want what you can't have.
Exclusivity, yeah.
I taught my kids, my 12 and 11-year-old, the old takeaway close. I was with my buddy Chris, and we went to a Bears game, and he brought his son, and we were short one ticket. And let's say it was $80, and my buddy wanted to pay 50 max, and it was $80. And he was like, no, nope. And I go, watch this kid, the takeaway close. So we said, nope, $50, take it or leave it. Nope. We walked away. And the guy chased us down, and he ended up buying the ticket for $50. My point is, buyers want what they can't have. And so many times these private networks, you get top dollar, you get multiple bids because they want to get to it before it goes to the open market.
Love it. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
your time. Appreciate you.
Again, you guys are watching this. This is what we're calling Luxury Fridays. So Brennan, if you have any other questions, let me know. If not, make sure you private message me your email. Again, and we'll I'm going to type that in the screen for anybody that's watching this.
What's the best way to get a hold of you, Michael? I sent you an Instagram message. I don't think you looked at it recently.
Yeah, you know what? I don't check Instagram as much as I should, but right there, that's probably the best way to send me an email to make sure we get you those cards. And then, if you want to set up a call or something like that, we do offer coaching, guys. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, we offer it. We offer an authorship program where you can contribute to a book called Marketing Luxury. It's not cheap. Again, I am the author of the book, Luxury Listing Specialist. Do me a favor, if you read it, if it's been valuable for you, or you listen to our podcast, please leave us a like, leave us a review. And that's our biggest compliment that we can receive. Again, our podcast can be simply found at going to luxurylistingpodcast.com, luxurylistingpodcast.com. Anything else, Brennan, before I let you go?
That's it for me today. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for.
Are you doing another open house soon on that?
I'm trying to. I talked to the agent, and he was kind of being reluctant on letting me do another open house this weekend. What's
you
your
know
thoughts?
Why?
No, he just told me he doesn't know if the seller wants to do it again. I'm not sure. He didn't. I cleaned it up.
I mean, did you conveyed to him that you had 15 people through, a lot of activity, someone interested, you following up?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe he said, wow, that's the risk you take, is you know, sometimes agents are lazy, and then you tell him how successful it was, and guess what? He might be doing one this weekend.
Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One question for you too. What do you think about doing open houses on Super Bowl Sunday? Is anyone going to show up? What do you think?
I know a lot of people that don't know even who's playing in the game.
All right.
So if you do it early enough, now I know you're East Coast, so the game probably starts at 3. So
On West Coast, yeah.
you might try to do 11 to 1 as open house your time, so people could get back home plenty of time. So do it earlier than normal.
Okay. Nice. All
And
right, man.
then
I appreciate you.
yeah, and if you were going to do an open house on this home this weekend, or let's say next weekend or in 3 weeks, that's an excuse to go back to all 15 people again to say, hey, listen, you had come through, not sure if there's any interest. You know, maybe the seller's more motivated. Maybe there's a price change. If that guy ever adjusts the price as before that price adjust, I would go to the listing agent and say, hey, Brennan, before, if you do any price adjustments, let me know beforehand so I can let those people know that seemed interested. So
Okay.
ring, it's, hey, Brennan, I want to let you know that seller at 123 Biscayne Boulevard, they're going to lower the price from 2.1 million to 1.9. They're going to do it on Friday. I think that's going to trigger offers. So I wanted you to know before it's public.
Nice. Love it.
Okay.
Love it, man. Thank you so much. I'll
You're
talk to you
welcome.
soon.
Again, these are great topics, guys. And Brennan, I would love to have you on my podcast as a thank you, if you're open for it.
Whenever you're ready.
This topic would be on open houses and other people's properties, and I would need you to be transparent, like you are here, about having sold anything above 700. If that's something you're willing to do, shoot me a note, an email, and say I want to be on Mike's podcast, and I'll have Lexi get you scheduled.
Cool, man. Appreciate you. Would love to do it.
All right, appreciate you.
All right,
Again, guys, the podcast is luxurylistingspecialist.com, luxurylistingspecialist.com. That was Brennan. He had some amazing topics on there. Hey, Brett, I appreciate the kind words in regards to this program and us sending you a copy of our objection handling playing card. So we're talking about return on impression right now, ROI. So again, getting back to the original topic for today, and I want to make sure we allow enough time in the next 5 minutes so I can cover this. It's how to write MLS remarks for your luxury listings. Again, so I go into similar price properties in the area. I check out the competition. I look at what their remarks are. I look at other remark sections of properties that I sold that are similar. And I don't copy and paste. Okay, that is plagiarism. Technically, in our multiple listing service, that's allowed. It's hard to believe, but I could copy and paste a previous listing agent for 123 Chicago Avenue, and the seller hires me. I can't use their photos. We get fined per photo. That you can't do that. But in our MLS, we can technically copy and paste the remarks right in there. Do not do that. Okay. You're better than that. You have your own voice and you could describe the home better. But I might take something like that as a baseline, and then I tweak, I modify, I add, I subtract, I type in some of the special features. Okay. I rebrand the home to what I think are the best features of the home. Okay. Our job is to highlight those best features and downplay the least favorable. And sometimes the other agent's remarks are terrible. Other times they're good, and we can tweak, modify, and make our own. And so that's kind of how I do that. But again, just a reminder, photos are more important than remarks. Photos are more important than remarks. You can have the best photographs in the world, and that's a start. And then they read the remarks, especially the left brain and analytical Alex, analytical Amy of the world. Okay, I got nicknames for everybody. But if you don't have that left brain analytical person, okay, and you have that emotional Emily and emotional Edward, and they buy on emotion and justify on logic, if the photos are terrible, they're not going to read the description, and the description's not going to push them over the edge. Okay. Now, Brett's got an amazing question. So that's how to write MLS remarks. Okay. Again, I know I didn't go into as much on this. Go to luxredefined.com and watch our video. Go to luxredefined.com, and you literally will be redirected over to our website, and I'm putting that on the screen right now. That's luxredefined.com. luxredefined.com. Brett's got an amazing question I want to bring on. Is there such a thing as over marketing a home? Having Matterport and a whole layout of the house, room sizes, etc., so that the buyers don't want to come for a showing? Perhaps. The other thing, Brett, that you have to worry about is security. Okay. Security. Okay. So many of our upper price point homes, Brett, we don't have floor plans out there. The sellers don't want it for safety and security reasons. Okay. If you were to ask me, Mike, video over Matterport, I would say video all day. If the home is large enough, you might do both. But I do like video all day over Matterport. Okay. Matterport is a 3D walkthroughs. It might be called something different, or maybe they're not in your area. But those 3D walkthroughs, you can't leverage them as much. You can't get as much ROI, return on impression, as much for Matterport, because on videos, you can put it on YouTube. You can leverage it on social media, and it can go viral. Okay. Where your Matterports aren't considered videos. Again, Google's the #1 search engine. YouTube is #2. So you want to be creating videos. You want to be leveraging videos. So videos over Matterport. And yes, there is such a thing as putting way too much out there. There's also such a thing as not having enough stuff out there. So you got to pick your battle a little bit there. Some really good questions. Some really, really good questions. Anybody else have a question? Anybody else? Please. Any other questions? Just a reminder, we got 12 days left. 12 days left if you're interested. We are coming down doing our training in Texas. We're doing our training in Texas. You can literally go to luxury. Well, you can go to a lot of different things. You can go to joinluxegroup.com, and it's going to be, I believe, the second link there. You can go to luxuryfridays.com, and I believe it's going to be the second link there as well. Okay, so a lot of different options, for you there. Let me show you a couple things that are in our training. Oh, by the way, this is our podcast. Again, our podcast, real simple. Go to luxurylistingpodcast.com, and we're going to bring on, hopefully we're going to bring on Brennan to our podcast from Southern Cal. Again, always be learning. We like not just to have experts and luxury specialists, but also guests that could help the cause. Again, guests that can help our cause and help the cause overall of raising the bar. Again, our designation is two parts. Part 1 is 7 modules. We help you attract more listings, more buyers, more opportunities. Part 2 of our designation is best marketing practices to leverage those successes, to leverage those listings you got. You know, in this case, Brennan could leverage other people's listings, OPP. So we're going to be touring some properties down in Texas in a couple weeks for our all-day training. It's going to be on Thursday, February 24th, with our bonus day being Friday morning, the 25th. It's going to be a blast. There's no requirement to come to our course and to get certified in luxury. If you want to be a luxury specialist, but you've never sold a luxury home, then you need to invest in yourself. At least come to these free Fridays here, Luxury Fridays, but you might want to raise the bar. And if you're committed to increasing your average sale price in 2022, don't just take my word for it. We have plenty of testimonials out there, including Kim Dean, who's a top producer, but she was committed to increasing her average sale price. So with that, I'm going to open it up for any last minute questions. Again, for those of you that want to hear more about us and our team and our organization, you can go to joinluxegroup.com, joinluxegroup.com, and on joinluxegroup.com, you will be given some options. And one of those options are, if you want to interact with us, you can fill out some forms, tell us where you are, what you're looking to accomplish, and you might be a good fit for our organization. Again, we have agents in 50 states, 22 countries. Again, I'm not here to recruit you, but if you want to check out what's out there and you want to hear why I left the #1 company in Illinois, I'd be happy to share it with you. You can go to joinluxegroup.com. Again, any further questions, let me look. If not, again, you guys have been great. Same time next week. Next week, same time, same place. Until then, keep raising the bar. My name is Michael LaFido, and I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.